I prefer the coffee.
What up, though? It's your boy Coffee back with another one, and right here is Queenzflip. Today he was throwing a space and it went for 8 hours. But what I found very good in this space was when he was breaking it down at towards the end, what led him to getting suspended from the Joe Budden podcast. And he normally doesn't do this when he throws a space and just be vulnerable and just like, let you know the ins and outs. But this time he was talking to the fans, giving it up. Joe was up there too. So this video, you listen to it. Give me your thoughts, comment, like, subscribe. Enjoy. Salute.
Yeah, he
If it
said
le-
square up.
Hold on, he said if it leads to that, the balcony is right here.
We
I
ain't
said,
do
I
none of
said,
Not
that
the
with a guest
balcony.
around. Y'all crazy?
it was no
Okay,
guess.
okay.
So I said what? Because he said he said I'm tired of you playing with me. Obviously, you got like obviously I must have created an environment. Like he was just going off for you to play with me like that, and
Who
nobody
said
has
that?
Nobody has played with me.
Oh,
I'm
Yo, was
uncomfortable. This is
Corey
gonna
there?
get
Let
Was
me
Corey
finish.
put
there?
Corey
on
was there.
YouTube.
Corey called us. Corey
Oh
called
my
us.
What did
god.
Corey say?
Let me
When
finish
you was about
talk.
to
Let me
get
finish.
flipped over the balcony?
Corey called us. Y'all two emotional ass niggas. He said his exact words was that you play with me like nobody up here has played with me before, and I'm not going to allow that. When he said that at the fight and shit, I got quiet. Cool. Then we was talking. About 10 minutes passed. No, 7 minutes. He said, "Yo, when was the last time any of y'all had a fight?" Then I got mad now. Right now, nigga. We had a fight right now. You told me you want to fight me
right
outside.
now,
Nigga said
right
right now. I would have
now,
been
So
mad.
and then he was like, "Yo, flip." Then he was then he was
the
calm. And
balcony now.
then we started up again.
Wait, Flip, I got a
And then
question. This
hold
may
on. And
be
then Vern was like, "Sometimes y'all niggas need to get it off." But then after that,
The
we had a
facts.
great
who did you say? Who did you say?
Vern.
Oh, I thought you said Vern,
No.
but go
And then
ahead.
he said, and then after that, we had a great pause. So when me getting suspended, it's like, wait, what? He tricked me. Like I felt betrayed. I felt betrayed.
Wait, after the kumbaya, you got
He's a
suspended?
professional.
Yo, after we squashed it, nigga, we had a good party. Like good party, y'all.
Yo, that's elite work.
No, we gotta make it through the shift. I mean,
Nah,
these
that's
pencils
like
still
when
gotta
they
be
make
put
you work the
together.
whole day and fire you, bro.
And then
Is
fire
that?
you. That's like,
Oh
bitch, I
shit!
could have left
Yeah,
at
yeah, yeah,
3.
yeah,
Ain't that a
yeah.
bitch?
Nigga
Yo.
wait till the last hour of your shift. They say, yo, big
Nigga said,
dog,
yeah, we hit
So,
big dog,
quota.
so,
come
All
so,
back.
right,
so,
it's
so,
moving
Nah,
so
know
on.
why
when I
that's
went
funny
to
too? Because after the fight, he was mad engaged in the pod topics. I'm sitting there like, nigga, it's too late for
You should have done
that.
this
Okay,
earlier.
well, hold on.
he
It's still coming.
He going the whole pot.
Flip, I
It
got a
ain't
right,
gonna
yo.
save you,
question.
Hey,
nigga.
yo, Joe,
It
I
ain't
was
gonna
saying
save
forwards and
you.
Yeah,
all
nah,
that.
you
I
was
was saying
killing
that.
that
Right.
shit, but it was too
I
late.
got a question. So after that, That nigga said I'm gonna double the quota today. wait. Nigga ain't gonna fire So me. after that, wait, Flip. After you and Joe
Yes.
did that, and y'all kept potting. Were you up there potting, avoiding Joe, and Joe avoiding you? So y'all was kind
No,
of just
we
Nah.
sitting up there,
engaged.
not.
Yo,
Nah,
you just
Flip was
switched it.
Whoa.
We
answering
engaged.
every subject. Like, yeah, this is how I feel about it.
I
Oh Wait, my. Jonelle, you mean like only answering
Yes,
Ish
you know
questions,
what I'm
no,
saying?
no,
and
So
then
no,
Nah.
when
no,
Joe
no,
asks
no,
a
no, no,
question, he
no,
don't
no,
say
no.
nothing?
like answering
They had a
and
fire show.
it's
No,
almost
we
like
no, we
They
engaged.
said we
Hey,
gonna
yo,
talk around each
nah,
other.
we engaged, yo. It was dope. We engaged,
So
yo,
it
and I
worked.
told we engaged. But what happened was like that's why I was so I'm like, damn, because I did want to speak to him. I wanted to apologize to him. I ain't gonna lie.
So
cause,
y'all gonna argue more?
cause no, I wanted to apologize because whatever I did, he asked me not to do it. Like he just asked me, yo, chill. He been asked me and I didn't listen. That's just what it was. And it's like, all right, cool, enough. Like it's just some dominant shit. Like, like I'm a man.
All right, cool. So this leads to my
What?
question. It might be too sensitive, so tell me if I need to back up.
Okay.
Okay. Do you think that you have a similar attitude with Joe as with Mel? Like you kind of talked about Mel being a little bit coddled, and you feel like you're not going to do that. You're going to still say what you want to say and be you. Do you think you're doing that a little bit to Joe, where he's asking you not to do something, but you're still doing it anyway? Because fuck that, you
Did
are
you
who you
just
are.
call Flip Mel?
Oh shit.
Flip is the male
No,
version. Oh wow.
Um.
I'm just asking. I'm
Good
just
question.
saying. Just reach
Good
down
question.
inside yourself and see.
Good question. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I
Yeah,
knew.
I
Thank
mean,
you
I
for keeping
think
it real. You know what? I think
coming from
Queasy
being
might
the
be a real
boss,
nigga. I'm not sure
coming
though, but I
from
think
being
so.
the boss of his own shit. I think
Like you know what's so
male
crazy?
ego comes into play.
Ian
That's
told me.
what
Hold on.
that move
Ian.
is.
Joe tells me, and Joe said it. I don't think you're. Joe tells me I remind I remind him of himself. I think that's what he sees, and he sees greatness in me. Ian told me that about seven. He said, "Yo, I said, how much of Joe you see me? How much of Joe you see in me? He said about 70%. He ain't told me this. Like even on the
Pause.
balcony, we were
Pause.
yelling. We were yelling. I mean, the white people came outside. They were recording us. It was the craziest shit. Like the balcony, we using the f bomb. I was telling him I'm not an f word. He like nigga what? Who you like? He got up, nigga. I'm like that niggas trying to play with my family. I tried to bring my family into this. I tried to play with my family. I tried
And I think too, Flip, you have to have you
Yo,
have
why you
to have
always go to your family? Like, yo, stop
yeah,
playing
nigga,
with my
I know.
family. Stop
Nigga
playing
be
cause
with
trying
my
to hype
family.
Yeah,
himself
that's
up.
what get him in
but
fight mode. Like, nigga, ain't nobody say nothing about
but
your
I
family. Shut
also
up.
This nigga's a
Yo,
another
Viking.
he said that. He said that. He said nigga what? But he
but
engaged.
also Flip too, like, and T Rank can mention it too, like you've always been like, your own boss. So
Mm-hmm.
I really think having to like I'm not, you know, work
I say,
at
get your shit on.
network and work under Joe, whatever. I just feel like for you, that was a huge transition that I don't think you got a lot of like grace for in the beginning, like at all. People, I think, expected you because you were already used to doing content to kind of already know how to fall in, not in line, but just kind of into place in that type of setting. And when you didn't, it was like, well, nigga, damn, like, what you think you gonna take over his shit? You should know how to go. But it's
True.
like you don't because you've always been the head of your own shit.
True.
But can I wake something up with
Hold on,
that
you
piece?
won't acting like that with Tosh Point oh, was you Flip?
Right,
Yes,
right.
I was. Yes, I did. Yes, I
Oh
did.
my
Okay. That was a little joke. That was a
Yes,
little
I
Yo,
joke.
this
did.
shit
I
acting
told him.
hella different with Tosh.
And it was respectful. I told him that I'm only doing improv. I don't want to go over no script. And and he's like, all right, they adjusted. I had to adjust to them as well. I'm not, but I pushed the line to as much as I could get out of it. I'm not reading nothing. I need to say like all those lines I said was me. A lot of
Do you know?
times lines are
Do you,
rehearsed.
do you know? Do you know what, Flip? Let me just admit that I was wrong. Like in this conversation tonight, I think I see your heart, and I think I judged you harshly. So I have to just say that I was wrong. Honestly, I
Oh,
think
thank
you,
you,
I
man.
think, I think you mean well. Your delivery is kind of crass sometimes, but I think you definitely mean well. And this relationship, this
Say like
working
a
relationship,
creator one more
this
time.
working relationship with Joe, I think hopefully it'll be a symbiosis, where you learn a lot from him and he learns a lot from you. Because I think maybe the Joe that emerged from that other situation is a little bit more on edge that he perhaps should be. And maybe you also having to adjust to not being the number one and working with such a big team with such strong personalities where you couldn't sort of cut the water off when you were ready. I think that was a bit hard on you in the beginning as well. But having talked to you tonight, I think I have a better insight into the kind of man you are and what your intentions are. Your delivery is kooky, but your intentions, I think, I'm definitely gonna give you more grace going forward for sure, for
I
sure.
appreciate that. I appreciate that. And yes, I appreciate that. I really do. Yes, it's just adjustment. It's adjustment, and I adjusted well, and I'm adjusting, and some shit I be getting away with. Some shit Joe be talking to me about, like y'all niggas just do whatever y'all want, and he still look like it's a lot of shit that we do that a lot of places won't allow, and I understand it because I wouldn't allow it, and that's what he brings to me. Like nigga, you have your own network, you wouldn't allow them niggas to do that to you. And when he says shit like that, I can't argue. It's like, you're right. Yeah, you got me there. Cause I'm just a man that my principles and morals is something that I stand on. I just stand on that. I can't be viewed as a nigga that did some slimy shit to his man. I don't give a fuck. My mother would tell you right now, nigga. Anybody would tell you when I talk about Joe. Like, first of all, I'm not having no discussion about him. I'm not one of them niggas. I don't want to have no discussion about him. Mandy would tell you, nigga, when we sat down at 8. I'm not talking about no. I don't want to talk about Joe. That's just
Well,
my character.
Flip, can I ask you a question though?
And then one
So
time
I
somebody said that why do all the people that's against Joe feel comfortable talking to you? That's not true, nigga. I'm not one of them niggas you could just talk to about Joe. I'm not. That's not even in my character. I cursed out. Me and Mandy had an argument. I called her friend that lady. I called her a whore. I said, fuck your whore friend. She was around mad people eating. I remember, I said, fuck your whore friend. That was rude. I know. That was wrong. But I was just mad at the moment.
Flip, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
So when you're talking right now about just kind of like respecting Joe or like holding Joe down in the public,
Yes.
Why, if that's your morals and principles, why doesn't that translate to the workplace in terms of,
Oh
like
wow.
you just said, he
Oh
lets us
sh-
get away with a
Oh
lot. So
shit.
why, so if
God
your morals
damn,
and
Flip.
principles are so
Ah.
solid, why can't you show up to work and do your job and
Pew
respect him the
pew
same way?
pew pew.
And I got
Da-da-da.
another one behind
But
that, Flip.
I
So
really
go
want him
ahead,
to
duck
answer
that one
that
and then
though.
put your
That's
vest
the one I
on.
really want to answer to.
Okay. Who says that I'm not doing my job?
No, that's not what I said.
That was
That
not the
wasn't the
question.
question
What's the
either.
question again? Just
I will repeat it. So you
damn
stand on
son.
morals and
Yo,
principles.
Joe, you on a phone call?
Yeah, I'm around.
I get.
You stand on morals and principles, and
Mm-hmm.
you said one thing that you cannot do is allow people to put you in a position outside of the workplace
Mm-hmm.
where you're going to be talking bad about Joe because you stand on morals and principles and you respect him. So you gave that
Mm-hmm.
example. I'm asking you, why doesn't that translate into the workplace and you hold those same morals and principles and values when it comes to your job? Because this is what I mean. If you
Okay.
understand that Joe wants y'all to come on time and you still show up to work late,
True.
where do your morals and principles come into play when you start respecting the person that held you down when it comes to his time and when you show up to your job? Like
Mm-hmm.
you said, I walked off in the middle of the pod and went off to the side to eat. Where are your morals and principles when it comes to your job and respecting Joe's time and the opportunity and
Mm-hmm.
actually sitting there doing your job, showing up, doing whatever? Why does it only apply outside but not while you're at work?
Great question. I have no answer for that.
Hmm.
We got
Um.
him.
So that's when you do your we fucking got
Fucking
him.
got
That
him.
was an excellent question. I can't lie, Flip. She got
Yes,
you. She got
Jonah.
you there. I
That was that
can't
that
lie.
that that that. that
But so when you're doing your internal reflection, that's
That's
something you may
something you
want to
want to
work on. That's a
definitely
question that
marinate
you need to
on. Why
answer.
do the moral, if because when you talk morals and principles, they're your guidelines to life. It don't change where you're at.
True.
because
Now.
because because
True.
then what ends up happening, Flip, if I may, because
True.
there's no answer. So then what that tells me is your ego trumps morals and principles when you believe that somebody else has something over you. So when you get to the
Oh
workplace,
shit.
now it's a battle of ego, and you put your morals and principles out the door. So then you have an opportunity
Mm-hmm.
that you wouldn't even allow if you were the leader. And when Joe is showing that he's leading, your ego will not allow you to be led because you've always been in that seat. So
Mm-hmm.
then all of the stuff that you stand on that you wouldn't allow someone to do to you, you feel like, hey, I have to stand on my thoughts or how I feel. I let my not necessarily emotions, but the
Mm-hmm.
ego conversation, right? There may
Mm-hmm.
be some of that with Joe too in those moments, but more so with you. That's kind of what it seems like to me, because I don't think you're a bad person either. I just think that I'm trying to figure out, because you do seem super solid when it comes to like the external convo, but why is it always this issue when you're there?
Okay. 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 Let me see if I can answer this. That's a great question. Salute to you. I think with me it's more of an adjustment. I think that a lot of times when it comes to family and how we were raised, I know I say that a lot. It's like everything that happens in the house stay in the house, right? So it's not intentionally that I'm intentionally trying to undermine them. Yes, there are some things that I do, like that I do, and it's an adjustment, and I can do them better. But it's not intentional to try to play him or anything. I think it's just being used to my ways and just adjusting. Now to him, he would say, "Well, nigga, you had a year to adjust. It's the second year, no more excuses," and that I do agree upon. And sometimes you just have a disagreement with your man. This is why sometimes it's not good to hire people that you're cool with. Sometimes you have a disagreement with your man, and you just respond a certain way, and this is why he had to take the steps that he had to take when he suspended me, and I understand it and understood it at that moment. Well, I didn't understand. I didn't like how he did it, but I understand it in retrospect. Like, yeah, okay, you know, I understand. Like, I understand adjustments, right? Like, adjustments is important. I understand I have to adjust, and I never want people to. I never want anyone to think that I'm being a spoiled brat and I can't be a team player. I throw myself on the fire so the team could just walk over the coal, walk on me to walk over the other side. Like that's the type of guy I am for my team. Um, there are some issues because it's just issues that I have or I had, and me and Joe go back and forth. But never my intent to undermine him or disrespect him, even though he may say like, yo, y'all niggas is taking advantage or y'all niggas doing what y'all want. Like when he said the other day, yo, you coming in late. 46 minutes late, you need to move in close. He didn't say it first, he said, you need to move closer. I was kind of thrown off. I said, what you mean? See, 46 minutes late. I said, oh, I said, my fault, Joe, we'll figure it out. And to that, he like, nigga, oh, you just telling me, yo, I'm a superstar and I can do what I want. I said, nah, I'm not. Like, oh, y'all making a shock face. Come on.
Yeah, like what?
See?
You're telling somebody, hold on.
Like I thought we was figuring it
You're
out right
telling
now.
you're
You
telling somebody, hold on, Flip.
Yo, Joe,
You're
chill. Joe.
No, Flip, hold on.
He was shocked too.
I appreciate you letting us
yeah,
talk
like
about this because I think it's good. And this is no, we're not judging you, but to
Got it.
tell someone that you just said has looked out for you when they didn't have to, and
True.
also pays you something that is comfortable for you and your family,
True.
and telling them when they mention to you, you are 46 minutes late to work, and you say, well, we will work it out. No, you need to get here on time or you're
That's
gone.
wrong. That was
That's
okay.
any other place.
And I
That's any
understand.
other
Hold
place
on.
outside of Joe.
I understand that, and I get what Joe was saying. Right when Joe said it, because Ian and Joe was there, I get it. I think a lot of times too, what I'm not bringing up, and that what that Joe would bring up. Well, what Joe's not gonna bring it up, but what I'm not bringing up is that I'm really focusing on a lot of other content, and I think that that's what we've been trying to get an understanding with, because it's like it's about prioritizing, and that's just the truth about it. And I think that I didn't adjust mentally to prioritizing the JBP over Flip the Network. And if I'm being honest with y'all, and those are the conversations we. I don't like having those conversations because it makes it seem like I'm just. I've been a boss myself. I've built this shit from nothing to something. So prioritizing something else over it. And because when I was focused, when I first got to the JBP, flipped the script, and all the podcasts, I left my studio, I gave it up. My channel took a loss. Now I'm not saying that's not Joe's fault. It was just I'm doing the JBP, so I stopped doing flip the script. I gave up my studio, and that's it. I realized that I was unhappy within because it's like I gotta do what makes me happy as well in order to get my 100 here. That's how I thought. So it was like, okay, let me go back and do that. But while doing that, I did it too much. So then now it comes to a situation where they are adjusting to me and like, okay, we know because Joe said it. Pull me to the side. I see this is your passion. I see this is your passion. I see that you want to do this. I see that you love it. How can I help you? That's what he said. Nobody gives him that credit. Yo, he even offered after the argument if I wanted to amend my contract again. He
That's
offered
crazy.
me.
And you still cussed him out. Damn.
Still showing up late and shit.
No,
And then
come
tried to
on,
Wow.
come
drop
on.
40 skits like fuck me, you
I'm
don't
being
need
They do
me,
that
vulnerable.
shit to
I'll
me
drop
with
a
my
skit.
job.
I mean,
That
I
was
I'm
think
being,
I,
wild.
Damn,
I,
Like
yo,
I,
what?
dog,
I
can
think
I
you
Been
get
guys
in
dropping
should
them
this
give.
skits
yo,
the
I'm being
whole
vulnerable
time. I
with
thought
y'all
you
niggas.
was
Wait, I think
now
I
you
think
got
you guys should
skits.
give Flip some credit for
Thank
being
you.
this
I
vulnerable.
was going
For
to
Yeah,
being
too.
he
Hold on,
No,
might
I'm
be
gonna
and
that
tell you.
I
I'm just
vulnerable
saying. No,
wait,
no,
shit.
no.
he
I'm
was
gonna tell
very
you. I'm gonna tell you. No,
vulnerable.
no, 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 no,
fucked
no.
it up
He
Hold
was
for
on.
him.
very vulnerable, very
Exactly.
forthcoming,
I'm
and
being
more
vulnerable.
vulnerable than I expected him to be.
Here's
To
the
be honest,
options he
right?
gave
To be
me. And
honest.
Joe, yo, let me ask Joe.
I was
Hold on,
gonna
wait. Let
say
me just
that,
say
but
that.
then I started
Hold on,
feeling
y'all.
bad for
Let me
Joe.
ask you,
Like,
Joe.
Can
hold
he
on.
Are you
talk?
comfortable with me saying the options that you gave me, or we think that we should
No, I
keep it?
don't care. Go ahead.
The options he gave me, yo, do you only want to come for Patreon? Yo, do you only want to come one episode? Yo, do you want to leave a certain time? Or do you want to leave it? If you're not happy here, do you want to leave and take improper improv with you? He gave me those options. That's the end of the conversation because I was saying a couple of weeks ago that I wanted to leave. I'm out. I'm out. Imani talked to me to the side. I said, I'm out. I don't like that. Da, 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 da. I went on the balcony and started, I just being flipped. And he said, he pulled me to the side as my man. I see that you creating your content makes you happy, but you have to prioritize. You're wearing yourself thin. On top of that, playing up on my platform and then creating shows. He kept it real with me that I had to look. It was hard for me to let my business partner run it. And that was the truth. It was just hard. It's hard to let Bassy run it. It's hard to watch some. I grew this shit myself. It was just an idea I had in Manhattan to go live and do the callers, and 1,000 people came in my live, or 2,000 people, and then Shampoo came because he fell out because the shit was star, and then Lansky came. Like, I built this shit over the years and kept using the money to go to bigger studios in Manhattan, so it was hard for me. So now when I went to the JBP, my shit fell off. We're not doing flip the script. Like the Freaky Zeke interview went viral. It's still going viral. The Charleston White interview go viral. I have viral moments in hip hop media. So then now I left that alone because I was going through something. I went to my man. I interviewed Joe. I interviewed Envy. I interviewed Joe. Math came the idea. I went to speak to Joe. He looked out. Cool. My content takes a hit. So then now when it takes a hit in my mind, it's like, damn, it's taking a hit. I'm trying to figure it out. Then on top of that, the money that I was getting is not coming. So now I'm taking the brown bag money. I can be honest. I'm gonna do the skit there. I'm gonna do that skit there. I'm gonna take a 5-piece here. I took a 15-piece there. That's what happened. Joe, like, yo, you don't need to do that. If you focus on this and da da da, he has a way of doing it because of his experience. I don't want to listen. That's the truth. I'm not listening. I know what it's like to taste gold, nigga. But he's like, well, you know what it's like to taste gold, but over here is the mountain of diamonds. But you don't, I can't see it from his perspective. I can't. So what happens is now I'm stuck. So then now I don't want niggas to be like, yo, you don't know how to be a great worker. You don't know how to adjust. We gotta baby you. That's not me. So then what do I do? I gotta figure it out. So a lot of times when you guys are saying that, it's like not listening. It's not intentional. I'm caught in the middle. So then now they had a big meeting with me, and I put things into place. Joe know I be outside. Joe, look, he said, I know you was outside last night, creating. Come on, Flip, figure it out. Prioritize. He knows, and he tries to adjust to me as his man because he knows that if I stop that completely, I'm gonna be unhappy. He doesn't want me unhappy. So and I don't want him to because he said some ill shit to me like, yo, you only advantageous when it benefits you. And when he told me that, that's what stopped the argument on the balcony because he presented facts. And it's like, okay, I'm not a bitch. And I don't want you to think that's my intent. So let me fix this. And that's what I did. So I fixed it. I'm at the studio now. Bassy runs the studio. I had to let it go. And I had to figure it out. Yeah, that was some sarcastic shit. Like, yo, Joe, come on, we'll figure it out, Joe. I'll just say, I was just fucking with him. But then it's like, okay, he wants me there at a certain time. And I was like, I gotta get there at a certain time. And that's just what it was. That's just some honesty for you niggas. I don't like being that vulnerable and honest. But that's
But
just
No,
the
you know,
I
honesty.
appreciate I
honestly,
appreciate your
Flip, right?
honesty.
Honestly, let me just say, like this level of vulnerability is rare, and shout out to you for being able to be this vulnerable. You appear to be quite self-aware, except when it comes to male, but you appear to be quite self-aware, which is quite
Mhm.
dope, right? But for me, as somebody who cares about the JBP, cares about Joe Budden and what he's doing, how he's doing it, like for me, it's like we have to respect our shit in quotes,
Mhm.
right? Like black people things. We have to respect it because this podcast shit before Joe, people didn't really know you could get money from it. And from getting money from it, he's fathered so many people, whether they want to give him credit or not. And I'm not saying Joe fathered your star. I'm not saying that at all. But in order to be able to create the opportunity for people like you and others as well, there has
Mhm.
to be a level of respect that comes through when the work is being done. And I know that you've spoken at length, and I definitely take on board everything you said. And to me, it seems like you realized where you were going wrong and you're willing to fix it. So shout out to you, and I really do wish you more success and all that. But I think it's for you as well. It's important to maintain a level of joy because a happy flip makes the Joe Budden experience a much better one, right? So
Yes.
I definitely wish you continued success on that front. And look, I'm rooting for you. Your content might not really quite be my cup of tea, but I'm really rooting. I'm really rooting for you because I want you to succeed. I want you to succeed.
I
I
mean,
think it's another.
I would give this to y'all. Like, you guys have opened my eyes, and Joe have opened my eyes to doing different type of content, of not going in and yelling and going crazy. It's just all right. Let's try a different approach. So I've been revamping myself. I've been chilling. I've been hanging out with Wycliffe. I've been doing that, and like I told Ian this, I told Joe this, and they know. Like a happy, like if I stop my content, I won't be happy. Like think about it. It's like when somebody's used to working their whole life, they've been healthy, and y'all know a lot of these stories. As soon as they stop working, what happens to them? They get sick. So I'm not making an excuse. I'm just saying like stopping my content. It fucks with me. So but I do have to prioritize, and we've been working on that. Like, with Bassy and the team, my cousin Camille, she was there. I opened up to
Mhm.
her about it, and like, she was like, all right, go speak to your assistant, have them do this, have them do that. Having her there was a breath of fresh air. I had to thank her because like, I thank you for putting up with my shit. and thank you because I know I'm a hard person. She's like, nigga, I don't take shit personal, and she's just, you know what I mean. So yeah,
Can I say something real quick?
sure,
Um, I wanted to just say, like, I think, I guess, an underlying thing that I'm hearing in the conversation is kind of like the difference between being rich and wealthy. Is like being rich is having access to money, and being wealthy is knowing money. It's
got
like
it.
when you understand how to navigate, I think there's probably elements of this conversation or elements of the things that you're probably experiencing right now that's teaching you, um, and really grooming you to be able to lean into the wealth era versus just being a nigga that got money and is rich, because the rich, like, getting rich takes a lot of hustle. But when you're wealthy, your money works for you, and
Mm,
you have the time to do the
that-
things you
that's a
love
great that's a
and
great
not.
analogy.
You get what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
I
that's
think,
fire.
like, maybe you have people around you that's trying to push you into your wealthy season rather
Hmm.
than you trying to stick to the get rich, hustle, 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 hustle. And maybe at this point in time, like, there's a lot of people around you seeing you for who you are and who you're
Hey yo, you be
becoming.
speaking to Joe behind the scenes. Like, what type of time you on? You sound like that stupid nigga.
I don't know, but she been cooking the fuck. Like, Flip, you've been doing a
Nah,
great
I'm just saying.
job
That's the
getting
shit. He
cooked.
be he be trying
Like,
to school me on some.
bravo,
My
nigga.
fault. Like that sound
Bravo.
like Joe. Like what y'all niggas be he texting you,
But
nigga?
hi,
Nah, it just makes sense. Cause I
Nah,
was oh, I'm
I'm
sorry,
just
go
no,
ahead. He was about to say hi.
I'm not.
I was gonna say a
I just
similar
hear it.
thing. That's why I'm like,
I
yo,
wanna
Nay, I don't care how much we get into it, you be cooking. Like, cooked you.
hi,
Like, even when you brought up the hi, who is it? Miss Sunflower?
yeah,
Hi,
hey
Miss
Al,
Sunflower.
Hey,
hey,
Sunflower.
hey, Queenzflips.
Hey,
Sorry, I was listening before, and I wanted to come in and say my 2 cents.
oh,
Jonah, I wanna just expand on what you say. I feel like Flips, you're kind of like learning how to become a network and run things and do things differently instead of just kind of being the person that comes up and sparks things. And you've been a great addition to the Joe Budden show. I love you, Flip. I love the additional Flip. I love the energy that you bring, and I just feel like you're evolving, and we're literally seeing the transition. It's kind of like how you know, how Joe kind of went from just speaking with Mal on that to going, to literally having the evolution. And I feel like we're witnessing an evolution on the Joe Budden podcast. And I feel like even you coming onto these spaces and being this vulnerable and telling people about like what's going on behind the scenes, that's like another layer to the JBP show and another layer to Flip. I feel like it's introduced a lot more people to you. Even hearing you today was really nice, to be honest.
thank you.
And seeing like how you speak and how you're basically like, it's really hard for me. Like, it's really challenging for me to be able to do things differently, to build wealth a different way, to build networks a different way. And I just want to say, big ups to you because you do get a lot of shit. We do be on your back every single after hours, we do have a segment of what the fuck did Flip say in this episode. So I do want to just show some love as well.
I
You
appreciate
know,
that, love. Thank you.
yeah.
Hey, yo, I want to tell you something. During the conversation that I had with Ian when I was yelling up there, I was mad at Ian. Like you ain't want to do what I wanted you to do. He was like, you didn't give me a chance. Like I would just be saying some crazy shit. Like what I think Joe was just sitting there like, wait, what? Yo, the shit I be getting. But hey, for niggas say that shit to me, I don't know. I guess yeah, salute. Mm. Yeah, I get off. But at the end of the day, it's all a lesson learned. And I appreciate you guys listening to me and understanding me. Now, this shit means a lot. Like today was a dope day. It's just learning, like learning a lesson, learning my lesson and understanding life. And like I said, being with Camille was around me, and I'm like, Camille is harassing. I'm thinking she's harassing me. If she's like, yo, get it together, like, bro, let's get it. I'm gonna detail your car, clean yourself up, get your shit together. Joe told me that. Camille even asked me, why you don't have a barber coming to your house? Joe told me that. Joe, like, nigga, have a barber, nigga, like, get shaped up before you come. Like, Camille said that same thing. Why you going to Queens to your barber? Have him come to your crib. Get yourself cleaned up and shit like that. Like, well, yeah,
And
why you?
but Flip, why do you not want to do it that way? Like, why do
I
you
don't,
fight it so hard?
I don't, that's a good question. I think Joe, why you think so, Joe?
Um, just better time management. That's all. Better time management.
No, why do you think that I don't want to do it the way? that you guys suggest? Do you think that is something?
I don't think you could even imagine that because you don't have the time
Oh, I see.
or proper time allotment to imagine it. You don't. It's like the niggas that when you start going to the gym, you realize how great it makes your body feel. So you'll go. But if you don't know, then you don't know that extra feeling that comes from going to the gym. So you don't know how good it feels to be overly prepared to show up because you're too scattered.
Do y'all think also too? Y'all,
Once
your
once he know
Yeah, Camille.
go ahead.
yeah, you go. You go
I
ahead.
was gonna say once Flip knows that organization skills and understand that you are in charge and you set up the right people and have the right team, you're gonna go through smoothly and things are just gonna really at this point pivot in so many different ways.
And do you think y'all he's also learning like that kind of thing where you kind of you got to leave the hood at some point? Like, granted, he's left
Oh,
the
good
hood,
question.
but just certain things he still holds on to, like from that was more of the norm, and he has to kind of not necessarily let go, but you got to elevate the lifestyle.
Yeah,
I t-
yeah, Camille.
No, I'm just kind of piggybacking off what she says, Flip. I don't think you're holding on to the hood, but I do think that you're holding on to the persona of who you are on the streets and who that respect you have a lot of the times, and that's why you don't do certain things. And of course, we spend time together a lot, but this particular time I was more hands on with you. That's what I noticed.
Yeah, yeah, she said that. Yeah, Camille was on my ass. I got annoyed. She woke up to my affirmation. I don't believe in affirmations. I told her. She was like, "What?" She said, "I don't care. Come on, let's go." She started speaking Creole to me. She was on me, and it felt good. I mean, it felt good to somebody that you love, and it just felt good. And I even thanked her. I sent her a nice message like, "I get it," and I even told her, I said, "Joe be telling me the same shit." I told her like, "Joe be saying the same shit to me." She's just like, "Yo, get it together." Joe be saying the same shit, and I'm like, "I don't listen because you know." But he says it. That's one of the things he pulled me to the side. Yo, bro, you are too scattered. Like you're too scattered. You're wearing out thin. So when you come here, you can't give your best.
It's
And
time for application.
I don't know what that means.
It means everybody in the world could say it. Now it's time to apply some of these things and see how it turns out.
Oh, facts. Yeah, see? Yeah, there you go. So that's what they be saying. Applying application. And I mean, it's shit, it's excuse me, it's not easy. It's not easy, but then he was paying attention because he watches everything. And that's another thing. Like nigga, stop watching. Like I be telling him, like, stop watching me and shit. But he watches everything and he's like, nigga, like you this and that. He start breaking shit down, and then you realize, like, okay, I get it. So he even said that, nigga. He said, I'm not even worried about this. I'm worried about, did you eat right last night? Did you get a proper rest? Did you go home on time? Did you meditate? Like he was just saying some shit like that. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
Well, you're definitely on the right track. Kudos to you. This is not, talk about what you're doing. This is more of just getting into that right lane because you're definitely on the right track. Cause
Thank you. Come here. Get out of here. Come here. Hey yo, the people.
love
Gonna
you
fuck you
too.
up. Hey yo, E, chill. The people liking you, Camille. I don't know if you watched the episode on the Patreon yet. I don't know if I sent you the link to you support.
I absolutely watched it. I'm subscribed. I'm all above. I'm
Oh,
10
come
toes in,
on.
10 feet down. I got it.
Yo, Camille, Joe, stop putting hearts. Oh, y'all niggas is corny.
What's up, coffee? I like coffee. Coffee is funnier.